The sanctuary movement hitting a big roadblock. Voters in Tucson, Arizona rejecting a ballot initiative that would have designated Tucson as, quote, an official sanctuary city, placing new restrictions on police and their cooperation with ICE agents. The measure was supported by a coalition of pro-immigration activists, but it was opposed by the mayor and the entire city council, all of whom are Democrats. So what does this say about the sanctuary movement? Let's bring in former acting ICE director Tom Homan. Tom, great to see you. Thank you for being here. It looks to me, Tom, like the sanctuary movement has really overplayed their hand here, and the Tucson's an example of that. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think the Tucson voters are educated voters. They looked at this issue, they tore apart that false narrative that sanctuary cities protect immigrant communities, and 2 quick points. When you don't let ICE in the jail to arrest a bad guy, the bad guy is going to go reoffend in the very community in which he lives, the immigrant community. And when ICE can't arrest a bad guy in the jail, they got to go to the community and arrest him, and they're probably going to find others with him that weren't even on the radar. So sanctuary cities put immigrant communities in danger of more arrest and greater crime. That's the truth. Tucson figured it out. Tucson doesn't want a sanctuary for criminals. They want a sanctuary for citizens and law-abiding immigrants.
Tom, it's Carol Roth. It does seem like there's a huge effort from activists and even the mainstream media to conflate legal immigration with those who are in the country illegally, which is obviously very offensive to those who did come into the country legally. Do you think that that was part of what was at play here?
Absolutely. And, you know, the left always goes to the Cato study where they say illegal aliens commit less crime than U.S.-born citizens, which the Cato study is flawed because that's exactly what they did. They added legal immigrants and illegal immigrants and used those numbers because illegal immigrants are mostly law-abiding because they got a green card, they want to be a citizen, so they abide by the law. So that whole study is skewed. So yes, it's a false narrative. They want to confuse the American people, but thank God we got people like this network, Fox Network, and I've done 200 hits this past year trying to educate people on what sanctuary cities are and what the falsehood behind the whole left's game is.
Tom, Steve Forbes here. What were the particular arguments that persuaded people in Tucson? Tucson's, by Arizona standards, is a fairly liberal city. What happened there that hasn't happened yet in other cities? What were the arguments that really hit with voters who might have traditionally supported the idea of a sanctuary city in the past?
I think they're watching the news, Steve. I think they watch what's going on in Montgomery County, Maryland, where they had 9 rapes in 2 months by illegal aliens and a sanctuary policy where ICE, they were released to commit serious crimes against the immigrant community. 7 of the 9 victims were immigrants themselves. I think they're watching what's happening in North Carolina, where numerous illegal aliens got released from jail and reoffended, committed rape, committed murders. I think they're watching the media, because the media now, especially this network, is stepping up and tracking those that get released in sanctuary cities, how they reoffend. They're watching California, how many police officers have been killed by illegal aliens that were released from a county jail in the past 2 years. I think they're paying attention. I think that's the difference that the story's finally getting out.
Yeah, although, Tom, I think some of the issues become unbelievably polarized, and there is a degree to which cities and states and federal law enforcement have disagreed about certain enforcements, whether it's of illegal immigration or cannabis, right? There's been a huge debate over whether or not federal law should be the operating principle in places like Colorado and California, and how do you square laws that are, in fact, in conflict with each other. No, but the point being that local, state, and federal law enforcement do not always line up. There was a lot of this going on before sanctuary cities became this, unbelievably hot-button issue. This is, yeah, you know this better than anyone. This has been going on for decades. It just wasn't quite as front and center.
I agree with you, but here's the backdrop of that. Because the left has been pushing that we want law enforcement officers, state and local, to be immigration officers. We do not want them to be immigration officers. We don't want them to pull somebody over and ask an immigration question if they're a citizen or not. We want access to a county jail where they already made a decision to lock somebody in a jail cell, take their liberty away, and lock them in a jail cell because they're either a public safety threat or a flight risk. We want access to the jail. We don't want cops to be immigration officers. Right. So I think the whole thing is, well, some people, they don't want to be immigration officers. We don't want to be immigration officers. We want access to the taxpayer-funded jail where you lock somebody up that's here in violation of federal law. That's the confusion we're trying to straighten out to the American people.
Well, meanwhile, President Trump is responding to the tragic murder of an American family in Mexico at the hands of drug cartel members. The president tweeting, "This is the time for Mexico, with the help of the United States, to wage war on the drug cartels and wipe them off the face of the earth. We merely await a call from your great new president. So, Tom, Mexico has rejected President Trump's offer to help in the investigation. How do you think we should respond?
I think we need to play hardball with them. Look, Mexico's not going to fix the cartel situation. They've dealt with it for decades. They're not winning. They're losing. The United States has the intelligence assets. They have the law enforcement capability, especially financial investigations, to track the money, how this money's being played in the cartels. We could give them intelligence assistance, law enforcement assistance, prosecutorial assistance, and prosecute some of these cases here in the United States. We are good at this, and Mexico needs to step up. It's not only for the good of their people and their citizens. Look how many deaths have occurred in Mexico in the past 2 years. This is about securing our border, making it safe for both countries. I would think the president of Mexico would think about this a little harder and say, you know what, U.S., I do need your help because we are losing this battle. We've been losing it for 30 years.
Steve Moore.
Well, I just, go back to this issue of the sanctuary cities. Tom, how many sanctuary cities are there in the United States?
It depends on, there's different numbers out there.
Roughly. I just, is it 100, 20, 50? What would you say?
Last track was 160.
150. Now, my question for you is, you were on the front line in terms of helping deter illegal immigration. How big of a problem is sanctuary cities in terms of you doing your job?
It's incredibly difficult because when we can't get access to the county jail, that means an ICE officer has to go out and knock on a door to arrest somebody that is a public safety threat. It's dangerous for our officers. It's dangerous for the community. And once people get released from the jail, they're in the wind. And if you look at recidivism rates, just Google recidivism. Half of those released will reoffend within the first year. Up to 75% will reoffend within 5 years. Wow. So it's a public safety issue. It's an issue that makes it dangerous for ICE and for the American people. These people are here in violation of federal law. All we want the police to do is call us before you release them. Let us do our job. We're the good guys. We're enforcing the laws too. ICE isn't making this up. Congress enacted this law. Presidents have signed this law. Regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican, we all should be fighting for safe communities.
Well, and ICE and Border Patrol agents deserve all the help they can get, and our prayers in addition. They are brave men and women, and we thank them for their duty. And thank you, Tom. We appreciate you coming in today. Appreciate it.